But certainly, and again, not here to build ourselves up by bashing Bitcoin, but really Bitcoin, kind of the hat where they hang their hat is on store of value, right?
Well, yeah. Let me throw this metaphor at you.
Sure.
You're familiar with, of course, international cargo shipping. You have these massive ships that
Yeah.
are loaded up with massive numbers of containers, of 20-foot or 40-foot shipping containers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these cargo ships hold tens of thousands of containers.
Mm.
On these containers are pallets of products that are moved around with forklifts. You know, in my facility, we have truckloads coming in and out all day long of all the food and all the pallets and forklifts and everything. Bitcoin is the cargo ship, okay? Bitcoin is slow, but it can hold a lot. It's got massive volume. Mm-hmm. So when you launch a Bitcoin ship, you can carry a lot on it. You know, there's a lot of cargo on there. It's going to get to its destination. Eventually, you'll be able to unload it, but you better not be in a hurry, right?
Okay, right.
Epic Cash is more like the pallets. The pallets can be moved around in a more nimble way. You can put a pallet on a pickup truck, drive it around. You know, it's more nimble. It's faster to deal with that.
Yeah.
Or maybe even you break it down and you have the cases of the boxes on the pallet. And in my mind, you're moving assets around. You're moving money. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin is expensive and slow to get into and out of at the moment. Epic is nimble and fast. And
nimble, wimble.
Inexpensive. Yeah, nimble, wimble. Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's my metaphor for that. But the bottom line is we have to be able to engage in transactions. And if you don't have privacy, you're really at risk of just losing your ability to use your funds.
Yes.
I had an issue the other day. I talked about this publicly where I was paying a shipping fee from an online retailer that has the name gun in it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's something gun store or whatever.
Yep.
And I had to pay a $25 shipping fee. I wasn't even buying a gun, you know, for $25, right?
Yep.
And I tried to put that fee on my credit card, which was with JP Morgan Chase. Which I keep this because JP Morgan Chase is one of the banks that will probably be bailed out, and I still have to have some fiat.
That's true. That's so funny.
Right. So JP Morgan Chase denied the charge to the retailer, and multiple times, and I got the manager on and checked it out, and they checked the codes, and it was that JP Morgan rejects all purchases from retailers that have the word gun.
That's just nuts.
Yes.
Now yeah.
Yes, exactly. Right? Because I'm pretty sure there are lots of other words that contain GUN that don't refer to firearms, by the way.
Right,
like
right.
Gunite or whatever.
Yes.
Or Gunther, right? Gunther's flowers, you know?
So your digits on your credit card, right? That's not fungible digits.
Yeah, right. That money's not usable.
Right.
So even though, of course, I have perfectly good credit, but Jamie Dimon doesn't want you to be able to use your money in your JP Morgan Chase Bank. Well, if this retailer had just accepted Epic, we could have saved a half an hour and just boom, it's done. Here's $25 worth of Epic, or here, have some extra.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
You know, go have a night on the town with Epic or whatever. And I would have sent them extra. Just to avoid the hassle of the credit card.
Sure. That's right. I have a question, Mike. You've gone through your analysis. You have your specific system. Would you mind sharing with the group here what the attributes are that are important to you, and kind of the ranking and why you weight some heavier than others?
Yeah, and just understand this is evolving. I might upgrade this, and I'm looking for feedback on it too. But I weighted privacy as 20 points, 20%, 20 out of 100. Confiscation proof also weighted at 20. Those two things are 40% of my algorithm, because if your money can be confiscated and if it's not private, it's just not that useful.
Right.
In this age of government confiscation. After that, I have transaction transmissibility at 15%, which means the ability to send and receive it borderless internationally in an efficient way. And gold gets dinged on that one because gold is a great store of value, by the way, but gold is very hard to send through email, obviously.
Mhm.
The next one at 10% is permissionless portability, where you don't need anybody's permission to take it with you and you can successfully take it with you. Store of value is also 10%. Scalability, the rest of these are all 5%.
Okay.
Scalability, censorship proof, meaning no one can block you from using your money,
Mhm.
even if they don't know that you have a wallet, but we don't want them to block us. Accessibility, which means the ease of acquiring it. And right there, by the way, Epic gets dinged on some points because Epic is not yet, it doesn't
That's
have
right.
as many on ramps and off ramps, obviously, as Bitcoin or even Monero.
Will that change in your mind? Will our score change once we are integrated with
Yes.
Change Now?
Yeah, all these are dynamic. So once Change Now goes live, then these scores will be adjusted accordingly. But of course, I need to test Change Now, make sure it's all
Of
working.
course. Yeah, that's right.
Fungibility is 5 points, and then recognizability is also 5 points. So right now, pretty much everybody's heard of Bitcoin, which is why it's the universal
That's right.
crypto. Not everybody's heard of Epic.
Nobody
In fact, most
has.
people haven't. Right? Exactly.
We're undiscovered. That's
It's kind of shocking to me, frankly, that I really couldn't believe that Epic had so much really cutting edge technology, but that even I hadn't heard of it before now. Actually, someone tried to tell me about it a year ago, and I blew them off, sadly, and it had to come back around. But the fact that almost no one's heard of Epic Cash means that it is really undiscovered.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of room to expand into utility.
Yes. Why is utility so important to you versus wind moon?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, a currency that people are just speculating on to make something go up and then sell it, buy low, sell high. I have zero interest in the speculative side.
Yes.
In fact, that's what turned me off from crypto.
Right.
And I was very critical of a lot of the Bitcoin promoters. I took a lot of heat for that too, by the way, over the years.
Yeah.
But it was because of the hype, not the tech, right? I've always supported peer-to-peer stores of value. I've always supported decentralization, and I believe in that. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is by working to accept crypto in our stores, and also advocating for people to off-grid their money from the banking system to the extent that it makes sense for them, and look at decentralized finance. Suddenly it makes a lot more sense than it ever did. And we have banks collapsing now in the US, which hadn't happened before this year. I mean, not recently. But I would say that when more people see, everybody talks about, well, what's the price of Epic going to go to? I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to the utility of it. All I know is when we accept it, more people will want to use it to buy the things that we sell.
Yes.
And when I can convince more of the people that I know to accept it, then I can buy stuff from them that I want to buy, like extra magazines for my SIG pistol or whatever, without going through JP freaking Morgan.
Right.
And if I can convince my suppliers, which are a lot of American farmers and so on, organic farmers, if I can talk to my suppliers and say, hey, I want to buy, 50,000 pounds of organic whatever, which is very typical for us, by the way. And will you just take Epic Cash and
that's right,
and you'll have the transaction like right now, and the banks won't get involved and have all their fraud flags and halt everything, calling, oh, is this real? Is this check real? You know what? Screw you. I wrote the check. Just honor the damn check. I'm tired of banks telling me they won't honor the money that we're sending to other vendors, by the way. You can tell I get kind of emotional about that.
Yeah, of course.
And also, we lost $30,000 in the Silicon Valley Bank collapse just because we paid money to a vendor through a service, and that service was using Silicon Valley Bank, and freaking 30 grand vanished. And like, if I had just used Epic, or even Bitcoin for that matter, the money would have made it.
Right.
But 30 grand got lost for a long time. They finally found it, which is like, you're just proving to me that your whole fiat currency banking system is a piece of garbage that doesn't work anymore.
You know what, Mike? I'm really happy that I came late to the party with crypto. Just because I just think about it, and I would kick myself long term, like let's say 2028, and we're looking in the rearview mirror, I'd kick myself if I looked at Epic Cash as just a $25 million market cap coin when you have Bitcoin that's a $500 billion blockchain.
Is it?
And 500 billion. Yeah. And if I was just so set in my ways that orange corn good, Bitcoin or shitcoin, and I didn't think through that historically, usually advanced tech wins. Have you read the Bitcoin white paper, Mike?
The Bitcoin white paper?
Yes.
I don't recall one single white paper. But hold on just one second.
Yeah.
In terms of timing, I'd really like to stay on with you longer here. Is that okay?
Yeah,
But I need
absolutely.
to move. Okay, hold on a second.
Sure.
Guys, my 4 o'clock, can you push that to 4:20, please?
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, just contact him. I think that's Adam. Just ask Adam if he's cool to wait till 4:20. Appreciate that. Yeah, sorry. I know this is a lot.
No problem. But the Bitcoin.
But we're having a great conversation, and the time is flying by here.
Thank you. This is us. Thank you for giving me 20 more minutes. But the Bitcoin white paper, it's worth a read. Satoshi's white paper. It's like 8 pages. But when you read it, it's all about peer-to-peer. He mentions trust 12 times. Never mentions store of value and any of that. And so when I say that, Epic Cash is really what Bitcoin intended to be, but just didn't have the tech at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Right. And so I've always said, and maybe for your viewers who end up watching this, the way I like to describe Epic Cash to people who are a little bit crypto savvy is that if Satoshi Nakamoto, who was founder of Epic Cash, founder of Bitcoin, he's anonymous. We don't know who Satoshi is or who they are, if it's a group. But if Satoshi Nakamoto today had access to today's technology and all of the learnings of the last 12 years, and he could rewind in time, bring that technology with him, he certainly would have wanted private Bitcoin. He certainly would have wanted scalable Bitcoin. He would have known all of the issues of ordinals, etc. And he would have launched, ladies and gentlemen, Epic Cash.